let's turn back to a little preseason action. Sergio Roberto leaving Barcelona behind, leaving a captain's armband behind. So we got Ter Stegen, we got Frankie, we got Araujo. Who do you guys think is going to be that fourth captain come the start of the season? I think there's a few names on that short list. Pablo, you want to kick things off?
I think it's going to be, first of all, say Roberto leaving, I feel is a bit of a turning of the chapter as well. It sort of felt like he's going to be leading for the last 4 seasons or so now, and he's just kept going. But with Hansi Flick, it's sort of like the new era in terms of what Barca are, I believe, in a little bit. So I think that's where it's come naturally for Roberto a little bit. I wonder if he'll be happy with the way he's left. I think we might have a farewell press conference soon from him, so let's see. I think it'll be Robert Lewandowski will be the fourth captain. I don't know whether I agree with that or not, but I think it will be Lewandowski actually who gets it. I think as a fourth, it's not that big of a statement. Having said that, with Araujo and De Jong injured, it could be. We've got a weird captain lineup at the moment, and if Lewandowski gets added to it, it might be even weirder. But I think he'd get the nod over Gündoğan purely because he's been here for more time. And I don't think a Pedri or a Gavi at that age will get the armband.
That's what I was going to say. Is Gavi too young to get the armband? Because he's one that he's on the bubble, right? If he was 4 years older, I think that's a gimme. I think you give it to Gavi, but I'm not sure. Buga, what are your thoughts?
I think there are 4 candidates. I think actually you may like it or not, but I think Pedri's even higher up on that list than Gavi right now.
Really?
Yeah, I think the candidates are sort of Pedri, Lewandowski. I would maybe say someone like a Rafinha, someone like that. But for me, the one that actually I would love to have, and it goes with certain reports that they are giving him a contract extension. I would love to have Jules Koundé as that fourth man, as a fourth center back. I think that could be sort of like he could be like a Eric Abidal sort of this new era, sort of just a player who's not from Barcelona, but someone who can sort of incorporate himself very nicely to the team dynamics, someone who knows and understands the club, and someone who just shows by example. And I'm just really fascinated by Jules Koundé at the moment. I think he's done an amazing Euros. I think we did say he was our MVP of last season for Barcelona. So I think that would be the perfect reward, just a contract extension to maybe 2029, and then bang, captain's armband. I think that would be sort of what I would go for.
Wow, I was not expecting that, to be honest. A Jules Koundé shout. Would it be a bad move if it was Gündoğan?
That would be more, I think, Hansi Flick having more of a control over the team. That would show for me Hansi Flick having more influence over that sort of decision. Normally for Barcelona, historically, it's been, the one with the longest time in the club, someone who has come from La Masia. I think it's changing a bit, like we were talking about right now in the Joan Gamper Trophy. It's not going to be any person from Barcelona's, structure doing the presentations and whatnot. So I think it's gonna it could be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Gündoğan or Lewandowski. I wouldn't be surprised, but I definitely wouldn't like to see it because they're just players who are not gonna be here for the next 2 seasons, maybe after that. So I would sort of be looking for someone who represents Barcelona a little bit more, someone who can stay throughout a longer period of time. I think we made right decisions with Araujo and Frankie de Jong in that sense. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I think Occam's razor says Lewandowski. And I think, Buga, to your point of the youngsters maybe not being ready, I think you go with somebody a little bit older who's not going to be here in 2 years, and then you just hand that armband over to a Pedri, a Gavi, a Lamine, a Kubarsi. The list goes on. So I think I'm okay with that. Maybe going with an older captain for this one. And then Ter Stegen, of course, doesn't have, a decade left in his career. So
the thing is that remember that the rules have changed as well for football, right? So you can no longer, is that correct? Is that something they're going to be implemented for the Euros and the Copa America? You know what rule I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That no one can, like, if you want to dispute a referee decision, only the captain can do it. So gotcha. I'm thinking that also, like, Look,
Sorry,
go ahead.
because Ter Stegen's our captain, am I right in saying we get to choose a
Yeah, Ter Stegen picks then someone an on-field player to make that decision.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
when Ter Stegen's not running to the penalty area to dispute us not getting a penalty,
Right.
as much as I would like to see that.
Yeah. And so for that reason, I think we're going to see an outfield player wearing the armband.
I think it'll
Yeah, so
Lewandowski.
that's why I think Gavi and Pedri right now are not ready for that.
Yeah.
I think I would say Araujo makes sense. Frankie de Jong makes sense. We've seen Frankie take more of a nasty sort of personality these last few seasons. I really like that. And I think that's why we need somebody else. And maybe that's why a Lewandowski or Gundogan makes more sense in that idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, get your comments down below, folks. We'd love to hear who you think is going to be Barcelona's next captain here.